Now, Formula One is no stranger to Mexico. We've raced here many times in the past. The first race that was held here was in 1962. It was a non-championship race, but then it became part of the Formula One World Championship in '63. Many winners here, many successful, great names in Formula One. Jim Clark won 3 times, and there was wins for Gurney and Ginther.
Fantastic, thank you for that, my history teacher, Jason. Jason was just 30 years old, of course, in the early 1960s. The circuit came back, Formula One, mid-80s until the early 90s, but folks at home will probably remember it most famously as the scene of many a great champ car race. The circuit we're using this year, though, very different from the layout we're used to. The Tilke boys have been hard at work. You'll see behind us here in the baseball stadium, a brand new little sort of stadium section, which could be really exciting.
It's going to be amazing with the crowd here. 20,000 seats in this stadium. It's going to be like a crazy soccer crowd.
It's going to drown out the sound of the cars. It's going to be amazing. But you are going to meet
Christian Epp from Tilke Designs. He's going to tell me all about how they brought the old spec circuit up to the new spec. So here we are. We have this fantastic board here that shows the old circuit and the new circuit. Now that's my first question. The challenge of retaining the kind of sense of place and history of the old circuit while bringing it up to Formula One spec. How difficult was that for you to achieve?
Well, maybe that's the biggest challenge that we have, because that's the one where everybody relates to, everybody has an opinion, and everybody will see it and will say, why do they change it? No? And for sure, one of the questions will be the Peraltada, which has so much tradition and it's so historic. No? And we tried every effort to keep it, but it is really impossible. Safety measures today would not allow us to drive it, actually. FIA would not accept it, especially because today you have already construction all over here, so you wouldn't be able even to create a runoff in this area. Mm-hmm. So basically this is the explanation of why this section doesn't work. No? But I think what we did here, we created a very nice stadium experience here. And even if you ask the drivers, I think the point when they come here and experience 25,000 people in there, it's going to be great
crazy
for the crowds, and I think even for the drivers. You know, it's going to be a very, very emotional moment to go into this turn here.
I have noticed there are certain sections which don't have a lot of runoff.
For the new track, for sure, it's guaranteed that it's sufficient. That I can guarantee, because that's why we are here. As you see, for example, what we did with the S's, basically the S's are kept, but we flipped them around. Because if you go today, you will see in the different areas here. For example, here, turn 9, there is no runoff behind turn 9. So we had to move the track to a position where we create this runoff. But in essence, what we do in this section is we keep the old S's, but we accommodate them to the new safety standards.
Now, looking at the track layout, it's going to be fast.
Yes, it's going to be from top speed. Obviously, you have it here, 328 kilometers an hour at just before turn 1. It's a very fast track all the way up until here. Of course, this is the slowest section of the track, the more technical section. Average speed in total is going to be 204 kilometers an hour. So that puts it in relation to a medium where the other tracks are. Most of the tracks are somewhere around the 200 kilometers an hour or a little bit above.
Now, we see a lot of construction going on at the moment. How on schedule are you? Is everything going to plan according?
Yes, everything is according to plan. Look, in a site like that, you're working really on all different areas. What we see here just in front of us is the pit building. You see basically it's almost finished, 60% in structures, 99% in demolition. Because before that, there was another pit building there, which we had to take off first, and then you build a new one. And the media center will actually start right behind us next Monday.
Now, in terms of capacity, what's the circuit going to hold in terms of fans, the numbers?
It can vary. Look, it really depends on the promoter on how much seats he wants to put in. So at the moment we're looking at around 110,000 people. If it works spectacularly well, you can increase that capacity over time.
Well, I'm really looking forward to coming back here in 7 months. Mexico City has gone beyond all my expectations, and this place I think is going to be amazing.
It's great. Look, that's the experience that we want, that people have, and I think Mexican people are very welcoming. It's a great country, great people, and I think it's going to be a great event here.